This show is brought to you by Buzzsprout.com, the best and excitingly prettiest way to start a podcast. Chapter 20. Scars. That Bleedin' Time. Part 2. One. Hangar Bay. House.
Hangar threshold synchronization is almost complete, Delta Team. Our Camille-Craft Scimitar-class vessel Retreya fueled and ready. Shall I activate the autopilot?
No. It's okay, honey. I got this.
You've got this? Since when could you fly one of these things?
Since when could you afford a two-way ticket to Summerland? How much time you got?
Less than 30 seconds.
Exactly. No, not you. But thank you. Seriously, who taught you?
We haven't even left the hangar, Jamie.
For all you know, I could just crash into a wall. Firing impulse thrusters.
Thrusters firing.
Come on. You're an invincible witch who can bend chaos. Can I not just be adaptable? Not this adaptable. You prime that hypercore any more efficiently, and you might as well call yourself the captain.
Who says I'm not?
Retracting landing gear.
Landing gear retracted. Hangar synchronization complete. Takeoff sequence initiated.
You're screwing with me, right?
Galen taught me. If you must know.
Galen? Not directly. When I was forcibly recruited into the Acatanian military out of Chicago way back when, or rather convinced to join one of Galen's various splinter groups, masquerading on Earth at that time as private military contractors, I was given, I suppose you could call it, a crash course?
Rattler was his name.
He was a commander, jack of all Acamil trades,
and master of most. One of the bravest people I've known.
What happened to him?
Course is set for Zen Sakura. From there, it's a few short light years to the Kirikou Nebula. I've mapped out RedGrin's flight path. Although...
I've grown to hate when she says, although. Although what?
Although, due to a large amount of solar interference sourced from Kirikou's various star formation regions, I'm having some difficulty clarifying particular points of the flight path beyond certain coordinates.
What does that mean exactly?
It means that House doesn't trust the Retreya's autopilot.
Nor my ability to help her compensate for possible shifts among the stellar regions. You'll have to navigate RedGrin's flight path manually.
Shouldn't be a problem. Exiting hangar.
I still don't like Gray going it alone. I hope he's okay.
Don't worry. He usually is.
Making the jump to hyperspace.
Course coordinates confirmed. Jumping in 5, 4, 3...
2. Colony ship Terran. Upper Medical Lab. What is it?
Sorry to disturb you, Doctor. The Project Leader Lieutenant and the Squadron Leader Checkmate are here to see you. They both say it's urgent.
Isn't it always? If I must.
LT and Checkmate to see you, sir.
Thank you, Commander. You may leave. How you doing, Bellamy?
Murder any more lab rats lately?
I wager neither of you care either how I am, or how many people I have recently, as you say, murdered, given your position. So, why don't we just skip to the part where you show me the sample that you found on Caracas, and we can all get on with our respective days.
How did you know we found something on Caracas?
You're not the only one who enjoys surfing the internal frequencies.
You're an asshole.
I was alerted by the power surge just like you were, Checkmate. I, too, am puzzled by its flavor of familiarity. One that, despite my research in the interim of your travels to this upper medical bay, has proved ultimately elusive.
Doesn't he remind you of...
Totally.
Are you gonna give me the sample? Or are you gonna keep wasting my time with your clandestine camaraderie?
Here. We analyzed it in the lower medical bay. We know it's blood. Exposure to space has made the origin point more difficult to pinpoint.
But given the presence within a vacuum, the closest match on Dead Crown's database would be
Acatanian.
You already knew that too?
Lucky guess. Not many blood types or samples that wouldn't just simply boil and immediately vaporize.
exactly. So,
No. This blood type has claws, teeth, an inherent strength, and, if I may say so, gravitas.
We have a record of it, but our files still list a lot of elements present in the sample as unknown.
It might be due to the Dead Crown database being an unutterably boring place to spend your time. My database, however, is a tad more extensive.
How long's it gonna take?
I checked the planet-side patrol logs before your arrival.
and
You authorized 2 fighters to break off and head out into the cold, didn't you? Gladius class.
after the squadron leader here informed me about the power surge, yes, I sent her out there to get the sample along with an escort. We can't spare the freight transport, so I sent 2 fighters, and my best soldier in one of them.
And only one of the 2 fighters returned.
LT needed me back on the Terran to further analyze the sample. One of my squad took the other fighter back down to the planet to resume patrol.
What's your point, Doctor?
My point, Lieutenant, is that I advise you to be more careful about how you delegate our resources. There's the future to consider.
Don't give me that crap, you parrot or prick. As usual, you're busy looking too far ahead, whereas I'm focused on what's right in front of us. Right in front of all of us. I said that we wouldn't be the only ones to know of the existence of this planet. Czech here even suggested that we have regular patrols on the twin moons.
Another proposal I rejected.
Because in your view, we need tighter patrols, planet-side, which I don't disagree with, but this is exactly the kind of thing I was talking about. Someone else clearly knows we're here. The colony ships, the size of the mining operation, the shield gate, it's becoming harder and harder to keep quiet, as if someone has noticed. And if someone has noticed, who knows who else they may have contacted? Who knows who else they may be sending? So, yes, I asked one of Czech's squad to perform a long-range scan of the system's outer regions and do a patrol of the nebula. Because this is proof that we're not alone out here.
Cross-reference complete.
Holy shit! What do you say, Doc? You think I'm still wasting resources?
If we're looking at the same results, Lieutenant, I can confirm, instead of merely surmise, that you didn't send enough. And that will be noted in my report. In big, bold letters.
You're such an asshole. 3. Colony ship Terran. Tertiary loading bay.
House, this is Solo Team. I'm on board the Terran. Looks like the loading bay's empty. At least for now. Copy that, Solo Team. How was the planet's surface? Rather quaky. That is one unhappy spire. I detected major seismic activity from the outside of the biodome, underneath the surface, which Gigi, of course, immediately sprinted towards. I told her to be careful, but I think she chose not to hear me. Nice work with the biodome threshold, by the way. Love a broom cupboard. Thought it was more subtle than a shuttle bay door. How did the teleport go? Your vitals are slightly erratic. I'm fine. It was just a bit of a brisk ride. And a little invasive? Who the hell still operates personnel transportation tech with overactive feed pattern buffers? A bit more old school than I was expecting. May I remind you, Solo Team, that you are currently operating in the year 2125. The matter stream synchronicity and pattern storage devices tend to degrade rather quickly. That might explain why I'm feeling hastily thrown together. Indeed, Doctor, it hasn't yet become standard procedure to keep the pattern buffers on a continuous diagnostic cycle. Noted. Find cover, Solo Team. Patrol approaching. I heard them. Thank you, dear.
Just through here. Man, I hate how heavy these pods are. Agreed. How come we never get to use those upgraded magna clamps? You know, the lighter ones. The Predators need them for the construction of the new biodome. Apparently. Fucking Predators. All they do is preach about the future while helping themselves to our mining equipment. They want us to move away from the tower. Say they found something else on the eastern side of the secondary biodome. They always say they found something else. Seems a bit more serious this time around. You mean that That's what these 2 new ones are for. The pods. It is so. Alright. You secure them on the pad. I'll operate the console. Okay.
House, do me a favour, and personal comms jammed, and if you wouldn't mind also jamming they're already done.
So, what do you think they found? No clue. Your best guess. Probably another freak of nature.
I'm partial to freaks of nature myself.
What the fuck? Stop where you are. Drop your weapons.
Sure thing.
Get on the ground. Now!
Of course, but first, tell me, do those sidearms you're pointing at me happen to operate on a standard gas-powered cooldown structure?
Why?
Because if either of you choose to pull your respective triggers, I warn you that it's possible you could get a more curable third-degree burn by choosing to stick your hand in a faulty incinerator.
You think you can fool me?
I believe it's a possibility. Because if I do this...
Make one more move, and we shoot.
I believe you.
Command, we have an intruder in the tertiary loading bay. Please advise. Command. Command!
Oops.
You jammed our communications. How?
Didn't put much movement into it, boys, I'll tell you that much. I guess I just thought really hard. I'll tell you what, you guys tell me what's inside the pods, and I'll let you live.
This kid's got guts. What are you, like, 13?
Nearly 10, but who's counting?
Bullshit. It's classified.
How did I know you were gonna say that? Ah, well, I guess there's nothing left to do, except scratch my head in utter confusion.
Open fire.
Morons. Now then, let's see what we've got here.
Alert! Intruders detected.
Oh, great. For Retreya. We will shortly be arriving at the Kirikou Nebula. Prepare to drop out of hyperspace.
Acknowledged. What are you looking at? Clearly a being besotted with his new toys and sense of serviceability. Still on that, huh? I guess I'm just surprised I didn't know. Why would you know? It's not exactly a skill that's been applicable during our recent, endeavors. That's as good a word as any. The Salidi, Old Town LA, Acatania Prime, not exactly the cold vacuum of space, although the Salidi felt pretty close. RedGrin called it the aftermath dimension, external from Acatania itself, but existing alongside it. A physically manifested, prophetic depiction of the end. Yeah. Not exactly my favorite place. I'm sorry. For what? It's just... I know what it's like to wander alone in an empty space for what feels like an eternity, seeing almost nothing except the ghost that you yourself created. But I suppose we all have our anchors. You had RedGrin's faith, and what did you have? Shaira's. Huh. What was that? Nothing. Nothing. Come on. Spit it out, detective. I get it now, is all. Get what? Why you feel so guilty and responsible for our giggling guide. Do tell. What Gigi said in the medical bay when she talked about trust. Now I see why you trust them. What are you getting at? What I'm getting at is that despite everything, RedGrin's still covering for you, has even been humiliated on your behalf, and you didn't begin to defend them until after they bugged the hell out. After Gryson called us both turncoats. Nope, still not getting it.
Dropping out of hyperspace in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, I don't know much about magic, but let me spell it out for the witch. According to my research and a few snatched conversations with Gigi and House, the only way Shaira's soul could have acted as a return doorway from a world of the dead is if your souls were ritualistically bound together ahead of time. In other words, before the sacrifice is made to complete the resurrection, a commitment must be formed. RedGrin has gone on and on and on and on about the fact that sacrifice and commitment are one and the same. So that makes a sort of sense to me, but it would mean that Shaira would have to be specifically prepped for that procedure, and as far as I know, she wasn't a witch. And all that she did know about magic were things that were taught to her by you. So your theory is that I feel guilty because what happened to Shaira was actually calculated on my part, and all RedGrin did was show her the doors out of their own sense of desperation? They saw your potential when you first met, your level of power. Maybe out of desperation they chose to put your ultimately calculated nature to one side, and maybe they thought they could help you fix what you did, but my point is, if it's true, it would say a lot about you. It would explain why Shaira has returned with a large amount of vengeance. Still doesn't explain exactly how, true, but it might also explain why RedGrin thinks so highly of you. Why, in the end, they chose to keep this quiet. And why is that? Because maybe, in the end, you're as ruthless as they are. You're so lovely. You know that, right?
It's just a theory. Now approaching the Kirikou Nebula.
Look at that. Ain't she a beauty? That she is. Alright, everyone. Strap in. Here we go. You might want to slow down. These stellar shifts are tricky. Can't hang around in one place for too long. Jump on the GPS so we can see how big this thing is. Aye, aye, Captain. Alright. According to this, Kirikou spans across just over 3 parsecs. There are a couple of dust regions that aren't far away from collapsing in on themselves that might explain the certain gaps in the recorded flight path. Possibly, plus the gravity wells are reading as particularly dense. So, with all that in mind, no, Jamie, I do not want to slow down. Give me all 8 fuel cells. You got it. House, lower the targeting scope. And if you hear anything from Alpha or Solo, patch us through.
Yes, Detective.
Jamie, whenever we get to a gap in the flight path, I need you to manually refresh the targeting scope before the gap closes. And if you see anything I don't, tell me. Alright, let's take her in. Yes, ma'am.
Entering Nebula in 7, 6,
5. Colony ship Terran.
I repeat, intruders detected. Scramble all orbiting patrols planetside. Move! Move!
All available ground troops and pilots to the hangar bay. Prepare yourselves, people. It's a goddamn war zone down there.
They're sending everyone?
I don't like this. How are we looking?
Dusty. Elaborate, if you would be so kind. It seems that your uncle and grandmother have sustained quite a few large, craterous blows to Dead Crown's initial ground forces.
How is RedGrin? Are they...
I am unable to currently determine RedGrin's emotional or physiological state. In fact, I can't raise them at all. Either of them. I told Gigi to take an earpiece. Seems she ignored you. Wasn't it me who also asked you to input her bioneural implants so she can quit messing with your psychic interface? It seems both of us ignored you. You're being very sassy at the moment, aren't you?
You're worried. You get sassy when you're worried.
They usually answer. RedGrin's neural implants may be temporarily overloaded, but we've always used my psychic interface as an emergency comms channel. It's still nothing.
Don't worry. I'm sure they're... Wait, I'm still not clear on Dusty.
According to my most recent surfing of Dead Crown's internal comms, it looks like the section of Silencia's wasteland, which houses both biodomes and therefore the spire, and the space between them, has become, as one of the Dead Crown's soldiers stated, a fucking fucker of a dust storm.
That sure sounds like quite a storm. I just hope that they're both using the dust as cover as opposed to a side effect of them kicking the crap out of each other.
I didn't even think of that. I'm sure you did, dear. You're just being kind to me. Any word from Delta Team? They have just entered the nebula. Shall I attempt to connect you?
No, not yet. I want to know what we've got on our hands here first. Left or right?
Left. Approximately 200 meters down the corridor. Then make another left.
Got it. Those were cryogenic pods, weren't they, in the loading bay?
Affirmative, Solo Team.
Wonder, with me, House, why would a military outfit like Dead Crown, an outfit clearly capable of faster-than-light travel, be using cryogenic pods?
It does seem rather counterproductive, on the face of it.
Maybe that's just it. Meaning, you're connected to the Terran's mainframe, right?
Affirmative.
Run a quick scan and see if you can tell me how many onboard cryopods are currently not in use.
None that I can see. And how many Dead Crown soldiers are currently present and correct, both in orbit and planetside?
Just a rough number is fine. Well over 1,000 troops. What about the reserves? That's including the reserves.
So, it's likely the military outfit and mining operation arrived here using FTL travel and live and work on the colony ship and the planetside biodome. So, what, pray tell, is this lab for?
Holy shit.
Are you seeing this? Or am I off my meds?
Affirmative.
On both counts.
House, there are hundreds of these things. How big is this lab?
According to schematics, this lab rivals the size of the tertiary hangar bay.
Hangar bay?
Is it possible that this terraforming and mining operation is a mere precursor? Perhaps the people in these cryopods are the ones who truly intend to occupy this planet. Dead Crown may just be the setup crew.
Interesting suggestion, but why wouldn't you wake them up?
Surely this terraforming operation would go faster if there were more hands on deck.
Oxygen conservation, perhaps? Versus the amount of power it would take to keep all these up to code?
I don't think so. I've always liked your optimism, House, and I hate to counter it with this following question, but I'm going to. They're mining with the hopes of terraforming, and in turn terraforming with the hope of continuing to mine. Neither operation is anywhere near complete, so why, if I may ask, were 2 soldiers ordered to bring 2 unsuspecting sleeping people down to a planet that, minus the biodomes, doesn't currently possess a breathable atmosphere? Unless you're, part of this crew.
To be awoken in the biodome?
They've got shuttles, freighters, fighters, teleportation pads. If they are just the setup crew, why wouldn't Dead Crown just wake the colonists up in orbit and send them down to the biodome directly, of their own free will, unless they were worried about rejection, or if the biodome isn't where they're being sent in the first place? No, darling. These people aren't future colonists.
Prisoners, then?
No. Lab rats.
6. Kirikou Nebula.
What's that? Looks like we've got company. How many? Just the one. One can't just be a random patrol. They're signaling for us to exit the nebula. Yeah, right. We can't let them tell Dead Crown where we are. If they see us coming, we'll never get through the shield gate. Even with Greyson's help. Try and hail them. They're not responding. House?
Solar interference will make it difficult to sustain a stable transmission.
Difficult. But not impossible. Its reading is a Gladius-class fighter. It has superior thrusters to the Scimitar, however. In terms of deflectors, the Retrea comes out on top. Looks like they're matching our flight path. Let them. Must have followed their own to get here in the first place. Ours is technically incomplete. Gah, Jesus! Shields are holding, but that was one hell of a warning shot. We can lure them into one of the gaps in the flight path. Alright, now they're asking for it. My thoughts exactly. God damn it, that was close. We've lost a nacelle. Get into the rear gun. We need some covering fire. House, I need that nacelle back online.
Trying, Detective.
Are you in? Stand by. Hurry the hell up. Oh, sure, 'cause that'll get me there faster. Jamie? Right, I'm in.
Alright. Time for some evasive maneuvers. Asshole. I've got him in my sights. Alright, House, surge all remaining fuel cells and stand by to reverse thrusters. On my mark.
Affirmative.
Get ready, Jamie. In 3, 2, 1. Now, House, now!
Reversing thrusters.
Anytime, J-Dog.
Firing now.
Direct hit, Miss Mortimer. Their communications array has been damaged. Gladius shields at 35% and holding.
That's still too high.
Maybe. But it should make this next bit easier.
What next bit?
House, load the forward torpedo base. And Jamie, get back here. We need you back on navigation.
On my way.
Detective, we're approaching the final gap in RedGrin's flight path.
I see it. So, What's your plan? How much do you know about gas clouds in space? Judging by the confident smirk on your face, I'm willing to bet I know less than you do. I do, however, know how lighters work. Then it seems like you know enough. Get ready to fire. Are you sure about this?
249,000 kilometers and closing.
You're asking me that now?
130,000 kilometers and closing.
Alright. Jesus.
95,000 kilometers and closing.
You're gonna have to reset the nav scope while firing the torpedoes. When I pull up, I'm gonna need to know where to go. Shouldn't be a problem.
45,000 kilometers and closing.
Alright.
29,000 kilometers and closing.
On my mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire now! Right now! Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Robin, pull up now! Woo! Burn, you asshole. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty fucking cool. You did it. You actually did it. Don't sound so surprised. Couldn't have done it alone. House, did they get a signal out?
Not according to my readings, Detective.
Alright, Jamie, prepare the cloak. Looks like we've still got the element of surprise. You got it.
We are now approaching a safe exit point of the nebula, Delta Team. Silencia lies just a couple of light years beyond.
Looks like we're almost there. Damn right.
Delta Team? Delta Team, this is Solo. Can you hear me?
Grayson?
Aha! There you are. Finally.
We, ran into a little bit of trouble in the nebula. Handled it. We're close now. How are we looking?
Glad to hear you're okay. I, however, seem to have stumbled onto some larger problems. Several hundred larger problems.
Okay, this is a new development I do not like. I agree. This is not good at all.
Well, it does so seem that we have an exceedingly firm grasp of the obvious.
Solo Team, come in.
I'll live.
What happened?
Ran into some opposition in the array control room. Seems they did leave at least some men on board to guard the shield interface. What's Delta Team's ETA?
3 minutes out, Solo Team.
Alright. Let's see here.
You know what you're doing, right?
If I didn't, this would have been a really stupid plan. This tech is eerily similar to what the Aquitanian military were using around about the turn of the 20th century. Whoever is funding this project probably acquired all the transports and mining equipment through Aquitanian proxies post-2017. Galen would be my guess.
I really freaking hate that guy.
Humans having the access to FTL travel and the ability, not to mention the confidence, to mine silicon-based crystals to attempt to convert them into energy capable of terraforming an entire planet. It's all happening way too fast. According to my original Akamil indoctrination, this isn't supposed to happen for at least another 200 years. As in 200 years from now.
You said that Dead Crown rose to prominence during the Dark Pale death, right?
I did.
So, I'm not being funny, but how do we know that all the people in those cryotubes are actually human? You think they could be infected? Might explain Dead Crown's dismissive attitude. I'm just saying it's something that we should at least consider.
I agree, since House wasn't able to get a detailed scan of any of the life readings.
I thought House could compensate for cryogenic interference.
In the time I had, not this much interference, which is another reason why I think Jamie might be onto something. Almost done here.
Alright, here we go. One thing at a time. Jamie, ace the cloak. Activating cloaking sequence.
That's the shield powered down, but I don't know for how long. You better move.
30 seconds out. Solo Team? What's going on?
They must know I'm here.
Soda Team, I'm reading significant resistance heading your way.
Oh yeah, they know I'm here.
Your job's done, Solo Team. Get out of there, now.
Damn it.
What is it? Grayson?
They're trying to reverse the deactivation sequence. Must be coming from the other colony ship.
Solar Team, they're almost on top of you.
Not now, dearest. Look, I can slow them down, but you're gonna have to go faster.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Access denied. Shit. They locked me out. You've got 12 seconds. The shield generates from left to right.
Lower right corner. Here we come. We're not gonna make it. It's reactivating too fast. We'll be fine. We will not be fine.
You'll be fine.
They will not be fine.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
Seven. Silencia Seruska. Once upon a bad land in Dead Future's crown, we've killed so many people, and I'd like to lie down. Everything is turning, lives retracting and burning. Some manic, some static beneath the weight of dark magic. The silicon spire, the life that was born, now splintered from terror, a planet to reform. Corrupted, a poison now crawling through your veins, still feigning its purpose, but murdering all the same. A chaotic infection spreading all around, recalibrating moral codes you once held renowned. Splitting and snapping, exposure to surround. The battle-scarred soldiers no longer make a sound. This enemy seems faceless, near baseless and graceless. Battle patterns tasteless, none left free to debase this. Led by a parroter, pretender, defender, spending spare time morphing sources of splendor. More an accomplice who has this certain complex. To tinker, he's a thinker, most likely a heavy drinker.
Alpha Team, come in. Can you hear me? RedGrin? Gigi?
Hey, we're rhyming here.
RedGrin? Are you okay?
Why wouldn't I be?
Are you high?
How high is the sky, Miss Mortimer?
Oh, great. Look, I'm sorry about what I said. Or rather, didn't say. Gryson was right. And Robin was right. What happened to Shira wasn't your fault. It was mine. I stabbed you in the back, and you still covered for me. I didn't deserve that. You might think you fucked things up, but I disagree. We disagree with that. You don't have to lie anymore. We have an idea of what you've been through now, what you're going through. We're here to help you.
Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate that. But I think it's a little too late for you to help me.
Boss, your vitals are all over the place.
Ah, House. There you are. Missed your voice.
Yours too, darling.
House, what's going on? I'm flying solo and coming to you. Robin should be on soon. He's setting down the Retrea, and Gryson should be back in the loading bay by now. He'll be down soon.
You brought the Retrea. Not a bad choice.
Whatever Dead Crown are pumping into the spire, and whatever they're draining out of it, has infected the poor thing entirely. Now the Retrea's cleared the atmosphere, I've been able to perform a more detailed scan.
And?
Although the geode RedGrin synthesized was a more diluted sample, it wasn't enough. The infection is putting a large amount of stress on your internals. You're hemorrhaging badly, and the more magic you use, the worse it'll get. Light or dark, it'll make no difference. You've pushed too hard, boss.
Their numbers appear to be dwindling.
Unfortunately not.
Ah, it's the flying detective.
Robin? You didn't park the Retrea. There's been a new fighter deployment. All of them Gladius class, like the one that chases through the nebula, not just standard claymores. Lovely. Gryson? That's my name, Flyboy. Where are you? Just coming out of the main biodome. Alpha Team done fucked this place up.
That we did.
Bringing some new toys. Might help with the fighters. 2 minutes out. 50 seconds out. Great. I've marked a few vantage points on your map. Move between them and give me covering fire. Of course, dear. Have to make enough room for a quick getaway. Jamie, you cover RedGrin. I just read House's report on their vitals. No more magic for you today, Uncle.
I hate to rush any of you at a time of crisis, but if we don't get RedGrin to a medical facility of some kind, whether it be one of mine or not, they are going to die. Do all of you hear me?
Yes.
Loud and clear. Gladius-class fighters approaching. Preparing to return fire.
In position.
More ground troops incoming. Though I'm reading apprehension between the lines of their charge. Of course you are. They're fighting you.
Well, now they're fighting us. All teams, let's go to work.
End of part 2.
If you're a podcast clown like I am, you must have dreamed about starting your own. Let me tell you, my dreadful darlings, it's never easy, but it's one of the best decisions I ever made. It was either that or waste away in my own subjective ascendance. Of course, it can be more than just a little overwhelming to know how to get started. Buzzsprout can help you launch your podcast professionally and in style, linking you with all of the major podcasting platforms such as Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and much, much more. Join us up in the buzzing, sprouting podcast cloud to breathe in the renowned analytical sound of the accurate analysis and promotion tools provided. Follow the link in the show notes below to start your journey and receive a $20 Amazon gift card. We're waiting for you. Buzzsprout, the best and excitingly prettiest way to start a podcast.